Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you, big waves. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, we're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. All right, we need it today. We're going in to the next 6 months of the year as we round out 2025. And so we're going to talk about it this morning. But to make your smile, if you'll just pick up both of your hands, right? Let's give the two-handed wave this Monday. Good to see you guys. Happy Monday, Coach's Corner community. All right. We want to kick off today. First of all, we want to kick off today by saying our prayers go out in Texas. I know if you haven't been aware, but it was so much of a tragedy's happened in the state of Texas, and not just Texas, but bordering states where kids and adults were there with the rise of the waters and just devastation, loss of life, young. So we personally today say a word of prayer. I know you will. I know you have. Thank you for that. The power of prayer is so powerful. So we pray for everybody in Texas and the bordering states that were there. Um, so the word for today is force. Force. And I love this word, Francis. Thank you. Our family member from Canada. Francis, the word to me is a great word for coming out of last week where we had Canada Day in July. We've got Independence Day for the US. We're coming out of the fourth. We're going into the new year or going into the next half of the year is the way I look at it. And so many people will set themselves up this next half of the year to have a fruitful 2026. Whether it's in their health, whether it's in their relationships, their spiritual walk, their business, their profession, and could not have picked a better word, and the word's force. Okay. So I want to share some things with you this morning as we look at the word force. Okay. So bear with me. I'm trying to get this thing set. Okay. So if you look at the definition of force, it's defined as strength or energy that's exerted or brought to bear to achieve a result. Have you ever lifted weights and felt like you got to really kind of get forceful with that thing at times? And it can refer also to like physical power, mental drive, emotional intensity that causes movement, change, or impact. Literally, when I was thinking about force, I was thinking about a car going down the road. The force it takes to stop that car, the force it takes to speed up that car.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
So sorry. Okay, let's try that again. I got everything happening today on my computer. So that's what I was thinking about when I was thinking about force. We don't think about it when we're driving, but it takes a lot of force to stop a car doing 60 miles an hour. It takes a lot of force to turn it to the left, turn it to the right. We're not thinking about that. It takes a lot of force to go from 0 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour. So here's what force really means. Force isn't just about physical strength, it's about the drive behind our actions. Like whether it's the force behind our goals, the force in our leadership, the force in our message, it's what gives intentions power. So here's my question to you. Where are you putting force right now in your own personal journey as we're moving into the next 6 months? We all have different goals, different aspirations, different needs, different wants. Where's the force being put? And I want to give you an example. Force is crucial for creating momentum. because the fundamental relationship of force is described in Newton's second law of motion, right? Forces directly determine momentum. Newton's second law means force is literally the rate at which momentum changes. So I want to give you two. Let's say right now you feel like there's an area of your life that's starting from rest, meaning zero. You're like, man, it's just, you go, maybe it's your business. You go, it's kind of just stalled out right now. Maybe it's your health journey. Okay. Coming back from Bali, that's where I was at. Okay. And it's like, okay, when it's at zero in your mind and you need to create momentum in your health, in your profession, maybe in your finances, what does it look like to be at zero and you've got to push that ball to get that momentum started? When it's an object in rest, zero momentum, only an applied force can give it momentum. Have you ever been around a human that decides to do something and they're like, bam, they hit it in full force and it might get under your skin? You're like, oh my gosh, they're so obsessive with, I've had people in my life that maybe it's their health journey. They like go all in on it. You have to move the dial, to move the needle, to move the ball and get the momentum started. If you're at zero, you've got to apply force, just like a car would from going 0 to 60. John, does that make sense? Like we can't sit there and go, well, I might think about it today. I might eat healthy today. I might make a few calls today. Guess what? 6 months from now, I'm not going to like where I'm at. Or today, July I come out of the gate and I go, I'm going after my next 6 months. I'm going to change my finances. I'm going to do this. And we apply force. Because when you're at zero, you've got to apply and create velocity. Without force, an object with zero momentum, Newton's law says, will stay at zero momentum. Now I want to share this, changing existing momentum. From objects already in motion, you're moving a little bit. You're moving a little bit. Force is needed to change their momentum still. Meaning, I got to increase it. I got to decrease it. I got to change the direction of it. But I have to apply force. And Newton's law talks about that. So where I look to end is in life, business, personal growth. Force helps us overcome all kinds of things. Inertia, tackling big goals, influencing the people around us with confidence. Ask yourself this question. Right now, coming into this Monday, in a direction I want to grow, in a direction I want to thrive, am I attacking it with force to get that momentum started? Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
Oh, great lesson this morning. I love that I think that was high school physics actually put into action. If they had talked to me like that 30 plus years ago, maybe I would have listened a little bit more. So that was a great lesson this morning. And I love this word, Francis. So thank you. The quote that I found was the force of character is cumulative. And that's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And so I thought, well, how do we create this force within us, right? When we see the power, we heard what Coach just said. How do you create that kind of go get itness, that force, that push behind us to go create what we want? Well, first of all, we've got to be really clear. What does Al want? What does Ron want? What does Kimberly want? Like, what do you want? What's inside of you that you want to go create? Because force needs direction. And sometimes we can get up in the morning and we know we got to do some stuff, but we don't actually have the end in mind when we get started. So we can kind of flounder around a little bit, right? I know I want to do X a little bit in my health, or I know I want to do X a little bit in my business or my finances or whatever it may be, but we don't have a clear definition of what that looks like. So our energy is not quite where we need it to be. So get really clear on what you want so that you can go put action in that direction. And with that, we've got to take bold, fast action. We cannot wait until everything is perfect. Anybody else really want things to be perfect? I want it all lined up. Like I want it all, that path to be so clear and no bumps and no roadblocks. But unfortunately, I live in the real world. So if I wait for that, I will never create anything. So I've got to keep moving even when I don't want to. And that momentum is going to help me create that force. Next, I've got to push through resistance. I've got to expect some friction. That's a sign that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. The sign that what we're doing is actually worthwhile. And with that, I've got to tap into my why. So, when our purpose is strong, our force becomes unstoppable. So sometimes we actually have to slow down, as Coach would say. We've got to slow down in order to speed up. And I've got to figure out, why in the world am I doing what I'm doing? Like, what is really going to drive me in this world? What's truly important to me? What's my driving force behind me so that I can go push that force out into the world? And sometimes it can take a little bit of overcoming some obstacles between these two ears to figure out what that why is. So take the time to go figure out what drives you so you can go push more of that out into the world. With that, we got to keep showing up. Consistency is a powerful kind of force. And we see that in our business, for those of you that are involved with us, that when we're consistent, we create so much more, but we are distractible little monkeys and we can get off track very easily. Well, at least I can. I'm going to say that we're probably the same in some areas. So if you find yourself being inconsistent, just focus in and keep showing up, because that's going to create something really incredible with that. Next, we've got to speak with conviction, whether it's in a team call or your posts on social media or whatever. Our words carry more impact when it's backed by belief. And then lastly, if we really want to put our force into action, is we've got to keep that emotion. Sometimes we think we got to live in a place of logic, but if we really want to be a force to reckon with, we've got to keep that passion, keep that emotion, because that gives our force a heartbeat and people can feel it. So I love this one today. Thank you for that. Francis and Coach, this was a fun one.
This was a great word for today. All right, so I got a task for us as we end. Okay, it's 6 months until December the 31st. So I want us all, if you got your phone free, like, let's screen capture this Coach's Corner moment, right? Let's all of us in it. Maybe go post on social media, invite others to be a part of this community. And then here's my goal for all of us. December the 31st, it's on a Wednesday, 2025. We're all here and we're all consistently, we've stayed the course the last 6 months. Like, take something in our life that we want to grow at, that we want to thrive at, that we want to be more to, and let's go apply force in that direction and go, you know what? I'm going to lock in for the next 6 months going into the new year, and I'm going to see what happens in my life. I've got some areas I've got to improve on, Brent Palmer, and I'm going to apply force in those areas. That's my commitment to you. So I hope you find those areas as well. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Andrea, thanks for the word today. We got some birthday people, do we? Is any of them on? I didn't see them. So if you know,
Tracy is here.
Tracy Mazeroski. Oh my gosh. All right. Ohio lady. All right. So we're going to unmute Miss Tracy. We hope you have the most amazing day ever. And we hope all those grandkids spoil you so much today. Okay.
Thank
Love
you.
Love you, lady.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday,
Many
Tracy.
more.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
Love you,
Have a
Tracy.
fun day.
Happy birthday.